Okay, so there's two ways we can write equations of lines. We can write them in the form y equals mx plus c. That's the one we've been dealing with lately. But we can also write them as ax plus by plus c equals 0. And what we need to be able to do is to change these over to the other way. So if we have one of these ones, let's have a look. Y equals a half x minus 3. And we want to write it in this form. That means we've got to move everything over this side to get it equal to 0. So we could have y so because it's plus a half, it's going to be minus a half on this side. And because it's plus, it's going to be a plus 3. All right, but there's one more thing we actually might want to do, and that is get rid of the fraction. So if we multiply this all by 2, we're going to get rid of that fraction, and we want to have the x at the beginning of it. So this multiplied by 2 is negative x, all right, or negative 1x. And this will come into play in the next video. The next one, this multiplied by 2 is 2y. This multiplied by 2 is 6. So this little minus 1 is a bit of a trick, because we wouldn't normally write it as minus 1, we just write negative x. So that's from this form to this form. Bring everything over one side so that it's equal to 0, and then try and get rid of the fractions by multiplying by the denominator. Okay? This one, we may want to write it like this to find out what the gradient is. So that's this form, and we're going to go backwards. So if we've got 3x plus 2y minus 8 equals 0, we're going to move everything but the y onto the other side. So we get 2y equals, this is positive 3x, so it's going to be negative 3x. This is a negative 8, so positive 8. All right, but we only want y, so now this time we're going to divide by that and get ourselves fractions. So negative 3 over 2x plus 8 divided by 2 is 4. So now we're in our y equals mx plus c. We can see that the gradient is negative 3 over 2, and we can see that the y-intercept is 4. So we need to be able to rearrange between these two forms of equations.